2 at once? Wow.
Were you expecting this?
Shut up. You're having twins?
Twins? Well, I guess that means double trouble.
So you're going to need 2 of everything?
I want to start this episode with a visual since I do my podcast on audio and it's not on video. For those of you out there wondering, what does she look like right now while recording this episode? If you're somewhere where you can safely pull out a device and open Google, please Google pregnant guinea pig. That's me, baby. That's exactly what I look like right now, what I feel like right now. Holy moly, here we are, ladies. Trimester 3. Trimester 3. I'm Abigail Swanson, your host of Expecting Times 2. I must admit, today it feels like, is there 3 in there? Like, there has to be 3 in there. There's no way there's only 2. Wow. I was not prepared for this. Trimester 1, I kind of knew from my first pregnancy that my head was maybe going to be in a toilet. Checked that box. Trimester 2, was hoping and praying I was going to get that big second wind of energy that people talk about, which I did. Nesting phase kind of came in. I felt pretty good in trimester 2. I don't have a lot of complaints. Trimester 3, mama wasn't ready for this one. On top of it, it is July in Colorado. And if you do not know what that means, it's hot, hot, hot here. People think Colorado summers are like 70 degrees and breezy, and we're all like up in the mountains hiking around with like our sunbum sunscreen, drinking green juices and, watching elk run by. No, not in the city. It's hotter than hell. It was 103 2 days ago. There's no breeze. There is zip zero water in this city. There's like a couple quote unquote reservoirs. No, thank you. Oh, I'm so hot. I cannot believe this is the second time I am going into trimester 3 in the middle of summer. And this time I have 2 of them in there. Whew. Here we are, trimester 3, real talk. I have tried to be positive Patty through most of the episodes that I have launched so far. As most of you know, the whole premise behind launching this podcast was to bring some humor, some laughter, some positivity to the pregnancy scene instead of all the doom and gloom and the this might happen and preemies and diabetes and blah, 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 blah. But I got to give it to you real talk in this one because trimester 3, it's a bitch. If you're feeling that way too, oh man, yeah. If you haven't yet entered trimester 3, I don't want to scare you, but maybe you'll be entering trimester 3 in the fall. Maybe some of these things I'm going through, you won't even have to deal with, but let's just dive right in. Like I said, complaint number 1 is the heat. I have 0 tolerance right now for anything above like 72 degrees. I want it cold in my house. It's in the 90s outside. And I mean, that's starting early. I love to go for a walk in the mornings. I love to go for walks with my son. Like, I literally have to be out the door at 6 in the morning if I want it to be 72 degrees. That's not realistic right now. No. Mom's not getting up at 5:30 to have a cup of coffee so that she can be outside not sweating her tush off at 7 in the morning. That's my number 1 complaint. We've been going to the pool after work. That's kind of like our new little summer activity with Jude. We wrap up our day around 5. I pack some really messy popsicles or watermelon in a bag, and we go to this pool near our house. It's like a pool on Skid Row. It's so ghetto. Most people there are swimming in their clothes. 2 days ago, a mom was very, very, very drunk at the pool to the point to which I kind of stayed by her the entire time. So I was like, "Oh, can your daughter swim?" I'm not here to judge those people. Listen, I'm having my hot girl drunk summer next summer. I'm looking forward to that. I hope I'm the drunk mom at the pool next summer because I will not be pregnant again. That I can tell you. So I'm not here to judge anyone. Hey, if you're swimming in your clothes, hell yeah. I mean, that's one less thing you got to buy. You don't have to deal with a swimsuit. I'm just saying this pool is not like, oh, after work we go and we're relaxing. The whole process of going to the pool in trimester 3. Okay, first of all, I haven't been able to see my lady parts in I don't know how long. I really don't. I scheduled a wax the other day. Then I don't know, I like pregnancy panicked. I was like, I can't be on my back. Oh my gosh, I've got enough pain going on. Oh, I don't want to do this. This is going to be so awkward. I haven't even seen down there in I don't know how many weeks. And now I'm going to let someone else. So I canceled it. So all that is to say, I have no idea what's going on down there. Like, I don't have a clue. So putting on a swimsuit feels pretty risky at this point. But I'm still doing it. Sometimes I put my husband's shorts with my swimsuit, but that's part number one about going to the pool. Not a clue. The other part about going to the pool is I am so sensitive to sun right now. I don't know if anyone else is dealing with this in pregnancy. I have a feeling it's pretty common based on just chatting with my friends. I'm so sensitive to the sun. 15 minutes out there without sunscreen and I come home and I'm like a lobster. My chest is completely fried. I put the sunscreen on and maybe I can be there, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, but I'm still getting red. I don't have a clue the medical reason why we're more susceptible to sunburns pregnant, but yeah, I'm done with the sun. I'm done. I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for sweaters. I'm ready for football season. So trimester 3, summertime heat, not my thing. I will say one positive though, at least we all can wear like summer dresses and we're not trying to squeeze into leggings, jeans, and turtlenecks because I can't imagine that right now. I just have a collection of Old Navy, Target dresses that I am just blowing through, sweating through. They will not be passed down to anyone because they are disgusting. But that's one thing we have to be happy about, ladies, is we haven't had to go buy really a whole new like tight fitting wardrobe. Could you imagine working in trimester 3? My energy is just it's like at half mass right now. I'm still doing it. My plan is to work up until I deliver, which the look on people's face when I say that is like I said to them, we're keeping one twin and giving the other one away. People are shocked I'm going to work until I deliver. But the truth of it is, mama needs the money. So that's what we're going to be doing. You know, unless we run into a complication or something, that's the plan. But it's a lot right now. If you are a working mom, I don't even care what trimester, 1, 2, 3, or if you're a stay-at-home mom and pregnant, that means you're also a working mom. Give yourself a damn pat on the back because this is like, wow. Managing emails, grocery shopping, scheduling, birthday parties, cleaning up the house. It's like so much harder right now. Struggle bus. The pain in trimester 3. Oof. My lower back and my hips. If I had a quarter for every time I complain about my back and my hips during the day, I probably wouldn't be working until I deliver. It is like no joke. I know we're supposed to be cautious with using the heating pad, but I'm on that heating pad a good 45 minutes every night when I get into bed. The pain in my lower back it's a lot. It's a lot. And then my hips are so tight. All the things that I used to do or that I have done to help relieve the hip pain, in other words, pelvic floor PT, the chiropractor, the acupuncturist, none of it's working right now. I think my hips are just like moving so rapidly. This is a lot of weight gain really quickly, big babies. I feel like my babies are growing the most right now than they've grown at all, which totally makes sense. But I have found that I love to bake. I'm not baking at all right now. I'm not even going near an oven. But the rolling pin that you use like to roll out dough is my best friend right now on my hips. So if you're having hip pain too, grab your partner, grab a friend, have them use that rolling pin, lay on your side with like either your pregnancy pillow or multiple pillows, as many as you can find in between your legs, a big one wrapped around your arm, and just let them go to town, rolling your hips out. That has been like a game changer for me. If it's really, really bad, I will even add a little bit of Tiger Balm. I'm clearly going to have to throw away this rolling pin whenever, if ever I do decide to get back to baking, or people are going to have Tiger Balm sugar cookies, and I don't think that sounds very good, but a little bit of Tiger Balm. I think some people might also use like Bengay. I think Tiger Balm's a little more all natural, but who the hell knows? Just have your partner roll that area out, and then while they're rolling that out, have them move right on down to your calves, because my next complaint about trimester 3, Charlie horses. What the heck? In the middle of the night, if I'm not getting up to pee, which is ridiculous how much I'm peeing, I'm getting up because I have a Charlie horse at least once a night. At a minimum. At a minimum, a Charlie horse once a night. Most nights, I'm getting one on each side. And everyone knows what a Charlie horse is. You have like seconds to jump out of bed and start walking and moving around. In my first pregnancy, I did also get Charlie horses. And the first night I ever got them, I shot out of bed so quick and kind of made like a very dramatic, loud squeal. And my husband thought my water broke. And he jumped out of bed and he was like, "What's going on? Oh my God, did your water break? What's going on?" And I'm like, "No, it's just a Charlie horse." And then he just like laid back down. He was like, "Oh, okay, good night." So now I get zero reaction from him. He's just like accustomed to me flying out of bed multiple times a night, either because I'm sure I'm going to pee the bed because my bladder is full. My bladder is full all night. Yes, I drink liquids before I go to bed. I can't stop at 5 p.m. Whoever made that recommendation, like, have you ever been in trimester 3 with twins? You are so damn thirsty. There's not a chance in hell you're going to quit drinking liquids at 5 p.m. It's just not going to happen. I'm drinking all day long. I'm talking green juice, watermelon juice, water, electrolytes. Okay, now I'm going on to a kombucha. Like, I have 6 drinks near me at all time, and that does not stop until the moment I go to bed. So sure, I guess it's my own fault that I'm peeing all night, but the mere like taste of dehydration, if I even feel it coming on a little, I'm like, I need a drink right now. So yeah, if you haven't done the activity of counting how many times you're going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you got to try it, because I was confident. I was like, I've got to be going at least like 8 to 13 times a night at a minimum. And I finally counted the other night. I went to the bathroom 11 times. Granted, I'm going to bed very early. Like, I think that night I was in bed by 8:30, and then I woke up at, I think, 6. So, you know, that's a long window. But yeah, 11 times I went to the bathroom. Like, no wonder I'm waking up tired every morning. I feel like I should just put a tiny cot on the bathroom floor at this point, or I don't know, see if I can fit in my son's diapers, because this is getting to be ridiculous. Speaking of the bathroom, I feel like I'm going to have like vaginal prolapse every time I pee. The pressure down there and all the things happening, I don't understand any of them. I don't even ask my doctor when I go anymore, because I've realized through this process I don't really care about the medical side of things. I just am like, hey, is everything look good down there? Are we good? All right, thumbs up. See you in 2 weeks. But yeah, it's like, what is going on? What is happening down there? And then the lightning crotch. I didn't get this in my first pregnancy. And this one, this is just mean. It's just mean, especially if you're someone who has to go to an office or be in meetings, or, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's not as bad on Zoom, but there are multiple times I'm sitting in my office and I'm like, and then I just like have to make something up right after. I'm like, oh, whoa, that was a crazy email or something, because the pain just comes in. Or like I was taking a walk the other day and I had to just like stop and awkwardly sit in someone's yard. I was like, I pray to God they're not home, because it felt like, I don't know, like Harry Potter was like using a lightning sword and just jamming it up there. So the lightning crotch it's so not fun. It's so interesting too, because like for a moment when it happens, you're like, oh, is this like a little bit of labor? No, not at all. It's just lightning striking in your vagina. I mean, I'm not even through all the things we're going to talk about real talk for trimester 3, but I just need to say we all deserve awards. This is insane, the things that we're going through. This is wild. So if you have not taken a second, I don't know, to pamper yourself, maybe go get your toes done, maybe treat yourself to a new maternity dress, maybe treat yourself to a movie and some popcorn, you need to do that. And I need to do that too, because this is no joke. We're growing 2 humans and it's hard. Oh, okay. Mom, dad, mother-in-law, father-in-law, if you're listening to this, now would be a good time to just like maybe skip ahead a few minutes, because you might not want to hear this next part. But let's talk about sex. Okay. Whatever woman, I don't even think it was a woman actually, now that I think about it. Whoever started this like rumor that, oh, when you're pregnant, you're so horny. I feel like the first time I ever heard that was like on an episode of Friends. I think it was maybe Rachel was pregnant. I don't know. Something's coming to me with the show Friends, which I love. But whoever came up with that, it was clearly a man who had never been with a woman who was pregnant, because that is a bunch of BS. Yeah, no. When I get naked, first of all, I feel like Peter Griffin from Family Guy. The last thing I want to do right now is have sex. No, there's so much going on in there. Like the thought of one more thing being near my body, coming into my body, is just straight up no. Yes, I miss being intimate with my partner, but it's also like he and I just have an understanding. Like that just can't happen. And I have to be honest, I think on the flip side of this, I mean, my husband says to me all the time how beautiful I look and, oh my gosh, you're glowing. And like, he's so sweet and he's so supportive. And he tells me, like, he gives me some sort of compliment every day. And he'll switch off between giving me a physical comment and then like giving me like a compliment, like, you're so strong, or I'm so proud of you for working until 10 o'clock at night. Like, he's always complimenting me, but I don't think my husband either is like, man, I really wish we were having pregnant sex, because that is where it's at. Like, said no man ever. Or if a guy did say that, I can promise you he has never had sex with someone in trimester 3. And he's definitely never had sex with someone in trimester 3 pregnant with multiples. Because that ain't fun. I got a list from my doula of like things that can help speed along labor, you know, if you're like, let's just say we make it to 37 weeks, right? And I'm like, okay, that's a wrap, get these babies out. And one of the main ones was intercourse. And I had to just laugh, because I know that does work, but that's going to take a lot of mental preparation. Let's let's just leave it at that. On a much cuter note than intercourse, are these babies, they're wild right now. I don't even know if this is like a complaint for trimester 3 because I kind of love it, but I am convinced both babies wish they were like washing machines because they're constantly moving, kicking around, doing this, little bit of that. The other night I looked down at my stomach through my shirt and it looked like they were doing the wave for a solid 5 minutes. I'm not doing kick counts because that only stressed me out in my first pregnancy with my son. Like, if I didn't feel a kick in an hour, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so worried. Instead, I just generally take note of, like, okay, they moved. All right, it's been 2 hours. Have they moved yet? I just kind of do more of like check ins. But I haven't really had to do that lately because these boys are on the go. They're constantly moving and kicking and moving and kicking. So, that has kind of been a joyful part of trimester 3, but also a little bit like I've said this before, I do feel a little bit claustrophobic when they really get going. I'm confident though that one or both of the babies has just kicked my lungs right on out, or they're like the size of a starburst right now because breathing is such a struggle. I woke Ryan up the other night because I found myself literally like doing gasps to get air. And I was like, is this it? Like, am I dying? Or my airways closing? And obviously, he's the much more, what's the word? Mellow, calm one in our relationship. I'm the dramatic Leo, which he loves. You love, babe, even if at times I drive you nuts. But he was like, no, you're not dying right now, Abigail. You are running out of room. You're just running out of room. If you have not Googled what happens to all of your organs, whatever month or week you're at, if you're at 28 weeks, 30 weeks, like Google an image of a woman's stomach. It's pretty wild how crammed everything gets. So it's no wonder you can probably even hear on this podcast. I feel like I'm breathing so heavily and I'm taking these huge gasps for air. But I feel like the most impacted have been my lungs and then my stomach. I have had roughly zero appetite lately. I want all the liquids and all the fruits all the time, but there is not a single part of me that wants salmon and potatoes, burgers and fries, a pizza, pasta, a steak salad, tacos. Ugh. None of it sounds good to me. And I think I'm attributing that just to the fact that I feel like my stomach is crammed as well. Yes, I'm still eating because, of course, the babies need food. If I don't eat, I'm nauseous. And, well, no matter what, I have heartburn. If I eat, if I don't eat. But, ugh. If you are listening to this podcast and you're still like, you're coming out of trimester 1 and you're going into trimester 2, or you're in trimester 2, enjoy eating in trimester 2. I had a lot of cravings. I was very hungry in trimester 2. I was done with the nausea. That is like a great trimester to eat because I feel like come trimester 3, you're over it. You don't have the room. The heartburn is like, what the heck? Trimester 2, that's when you should indulge. My doula just recommended papaya enzymes for my heartburn. So if you're dealing with heartburn too, I know I've given some other suggestions in other episodes. I haven't gone and bought the enzymes yet, but I asked my doctor. She was like, it's basically the natural version of a Tums. So if you've taken Tums, this is just maybe a little bit better for you. And my doula actually recommended I put them in my hospital bag too, because she said if you're having a lot of heartburn right now, you might actually have heartburn through childbirth too, which that never crossed my mind. I've been thinking about everything else with childbirth, but not heartburn. So just a little tip, pack your papaya enzymes. Now for a super sexy topic about trimester 3. My favorite, constipation and hemorrhoids. What's up, baby? Here they are. I don't even know where to start with this part, but the constipation. It's like if we didn't feel big and tight enough, our body is like, no, let's just not go to the bathroom. That will really help. That will help you feel, better and not have the heartburn or the stomach ache. No, it's the total opposite. Nothing over the counter personally works for me for constipation. If I'm desperate, I will do a stool softener. But even then, it's, I don't know, it's like a 50-50 if that's going to work. I am still taking that fluorosophy fiber. Highly, highly, highly recommend that. I think I'm going to stay on that like forever. But then with the constipation, of course, comes the hemorrhoids. I think prior to pregnancy, I've used the word hemorrhoids maybe 5 times in my entire 35 years of life. Now I feel like I say hemorrhoids, I don't know, 5 times a week, 5 or 10 times a week. I'm either complaining about them, evaluating them, Googling them, talking to a friend about them, checking them out. That's not fun. Going Dora the Explorer on your hemorrhoids? No, that's really not fun. It's awful. I don't even pay much attention to what's going on the back door. And now pregnant, I feel like I'm always having to look and be like, okay, is everything okay? Which is an entire struggle. You can imagine, just get on all fours and imagine having a huge belly in the way and then try to turn around and take a look. Yeah. You'll be like Dora the Explorer failed. The other thing I'm preparing for, a fissure. A fissure. If you're like, what the hell is a fissure? Again, I had never even heard that word until I was 6 weeks postpartum with my son. And every time I went to the bathroom, I was like, something's off. Something's off. Something doesn't make sense here. So I went to the proctologist. The non-medical definition of a fissure is basically a tear in your butthole. I don't know how else to say it. I'm not going to try to put it in medical terms or say anything sexy, except that's what it is, and it sucks. I got a fissure with my son. It was really not that bad, though. I was able to just like heal it at home. Wham, bam. Here's a little cream. Okay, we're good. I had another one, we think, in trimester 1. We're really not sure what it was. Was it a fissure? Was it hormonal? I don't know, but I feel like that little sucker is, he's coming back. He wants to be part of the party for trimester 3 because of the constipation and the hemorrhoids and blah, la, 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 la. This is like, it's just not sexy to talk about, but no one's talking about these things. So if you're dealing with a fissure, please shoot me a DM. I have so many recommendations for you. I feel like I have like a PhD in fissures at this point. I mean, I just have so many different solutions that I'm happy to share with anyone. So if you think you have a fissure, or after birth if you get a fissure, or you're dealing with anything with fissure, or you just want to laugh with me, I mean, why is it even called a fissure? It's such a funny name. Let me know, because I've got some tips and tricks for you. All right, the last thing I want to complain about our trimester 3 real talk, the comments that people are making. I have to actually laugh about this, because I've gone from being so mad and so annoyed at people's comments, strangers that say things, people I do know that say things, to now just laughing about them. But I have been hearing so much lately, because now, we're at the place now where it's safe for people to say, like, oh, how far along are you? Trimester 2, you never know. You're like, is this person pregnant? Are they not? Like, you never want to ask. And I think especially for us, because I'm holding, I'm holding an almost 1-year-old. And I think people are like, oh, there's no way she's pregnant again. She just probably didn't lose the baby weight or something. But we're clearly very pregnant now. So when people ask me how far along I am, the pure shock on their face when I say it's twins too, it's almost better than the initial shock on my husband's face when the doctor said there was 2 in there. Like, I want to make a coffee table book and pitch it to, I don't know, like Random House. I feel like they'd pick it up, of expressions on people's faces when you say you're having multiples. And then maybe there'll be like another sub chapter in there of the look on their face when you say you're having multiples when you also have a child under the age of 1 at home. Because I wish I just had a camera for all these people, like the gasps and then they try to hide it a lot too. We were at a birthday party the other day, and the woman was like, "Oh, wow, you're already pregnant again. How far along are you?" And I told her, and then I said, "Yeah, and there's 2 in there." And she was like, "Ha ha." And I was like, "No, there are." Oh my God. Oh my God. Are what are you gonna? And then I just didn't say anything. I just kind of let people stutter because it's funny. And then she was like, "What a blessing. How exciting." And I just like had to walk away. I was like, "Oh, don't need your negative energy." But, if whoever gives me that expression is familiar with twins and I tell them how far along we are, they always want to share like, "Oh, well, twins always come at 28 weeks. That's the deal. Are you guys ready? Is your nursery set up?" "Oh yeah, my friends twins, they came at 27 weeks. Or I get the total opposite end of the spectrum. "Oh, you just wait. You think you're big and tired now. My friend delivered her twins at 40 weeks, And it's just like, I don't know. We just kind of laugh at it at this point. My husband and I have gotten pretty good at just kind of brushing off comments. We're like, "Oh, okay," because like that's such a wide spectrum. Having your babies, roughly around 28 weeks and then having your babies around 40 weeks, like who the hell knows? Like I just keep saying, I'm actually not in charge of these babies. As we've all learned, there are things we can do to try to, keep them baking, to stay healthy along the pregnancy route. Of course there's things we can do. But at the end of the day, it ain't up to me, baby. It's up to God and these babies. And whenever they decide to come, they decide to come. And there ain't a whole lot that I can really do. Of course, if you have a medical issue and they want you on bed rest or something, or you get preeclampsia or diabetes, of course there's other measures you can take. But if you don't have any of those things and you're just walking around living your life, like, I don't know, they could come tomorrow or they could come in 10 weeks. I really don't have a clue. But the comments people are making, they're still just making me laugh. So if you're getting a lot of those too, oh, brush it off your shoulder, mama. Like, it's just, people, they just have uncensored mouths. And I think that's the conclusion that I've come to throughout this process. All right, guys, let's wrap up this episode on Trimester 3 Real Talk by talking about how the babes are doing. I'm somewhere 28, 29 weeks, so we'll kind of just group that together. The babies right now are the size of acorn squashes or cabbages. They weigh approximately 2.5 to 3 pounds, which I would say is about dead on. I had a growth scan a couple days ago, and baby A was, I think, 2 pounds, 10 ounces. And baby B was exactly 3 pounds. So, yeah, I would say we're right on track there. They're roughly 16 inches, they say. What I think is wild, though, is in the next 10 weeks, our babies are going to double, if not triple in size. Of course, that's what we all want, right? No one wants premature babies, which, if it happens, reminder, your hospital is prepared. If you have not called your hospital yet and asked to do a tour of the NICU, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I know we've all been fed lines that twins always come early and you're never going to make it to 37 weeks. Maybe you will. I'm manifesting that for all of us here. But for your own peace of mind, asked to do a NICU tour, I think you'll feel so much better. I know I definitely feel so much better since we did our NICU tour. The nurses were unbelievable. They were so amazing. They went over the different machines, the potential noises. They were great. Anyways, it's hard to believe that they might triple in size because, like I said, I feel like I'm already running out of room. But where there's a will, there's a way, right? These babes are going to make sure they have room to grow. I feel like when we signed an agreement, they knew that they were in like a little New York City apartment in the West Village. And now that they're growing rapidly, they're like, "Nah, Mom, we want like an apartment in Houston that's huge." So we're trying to negotiate here some real estate so that mom still has room to breathe and, I don't know, occasionally eat something. But the babies are growing. A significant milestone for all of us at 28, 29 weeks is lung development. I'm probably going to butcher how to say this, but surfactant production is increasing. And that's like a mixture of fats and proteins that coats, I don't even know how to say this word, but let's just say coats the lungs, and it makes it easier for the newborns to breathe. So that's like a huge, my doctor was like, once you reach like 28, 29 weeks, they have this surfactant production. So that's one less thing we have to worry about. So like, yay, check that off the box. Babies are now opening their eyelids. They're smiling in their sleep. And they are quite literally like resting on our nerves. If you're feeling that back pain I mentioned earlier, you know, maybe it's causing some sciatic pain, which is like tingling down your buttocks and your legs. I'm here with you. It's normal. These babies aren't even born and they're already getting on our nerves. Heating pads, baths. Honestly, ice packs help me too. I always put on the coolant seats in my car, and sometimes that helps a little bit more than the heat. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'm just going with it. Most important for me at this point, a fact I love to hear is around 28, 29 weeks, if they're not already, babies are getting into position. They are head down. They are getting their heads down. If you have not talked to your babies yet and told them, like, hey, little babies, party's down there. That's where the exit door is. Get your head down there. There is nothing going on up top here. Start doing it. I tell my boys that every day. I am like hell-bent and determined to have a vaginal birth. I am open to it not going that way, and I'm mentally preparing for other things that might happen. But for the time being, I'm manifesting a vaginal birth. So I remind them every day, keep your head down, boys. That's where the party's at. That's your exit door. And you should both be fighting to get out of that exit door. No one needs to want to stay in here in this tiny little New York City sweaty apartment where you have no sunlight. Get out, baby. Let's enter the big, beautiful world. You keep your heads down. You might sound crazy talking, I don't know, I guess some people would say to yourself, but remember, babies can hear you now. And they're sweet little babies that are just listening to our commands. So keep encouraging those little girls, those little boys, that boy and that girl. Just stay head down, little baby. Just stay head down. This is also your friendly reminder to remember to put on coconut oil for your skin if you have forgotten to do that lately. There's a lot of other oils you can use and lotions, but I will always recommend coconut oil. Get a very nice coconut oil. Get one. I mean, honestly, even Costco has nice coconut oil at this point, but lather those bellies up. If your belly is flaky and itching, I know mine is right now, maybe do it 2 times a day. Otherwise, I'm just doing it before I go to bed. My sheets are all ruined because I'm just like a walking slip and slide when I get into bed. I have coconut oil everywhere. At this point, I'm even putting it in my hair. I'm putting it all over my boobs and my butt. It's like, whew, I'm a vision right now. God, Ryan, you are one lucky man to get into bed every night with this slippery slope of coconut oil. All right, friends. That's it for trimester 3 Real Talk. Here for you. If you need anything, please let me know. Shoot me a DM, shoot me a message. And as always, thank you so much for joining me today. Please, please, please remember to hit that follow button. Please remember to rate us on both Spotify and Apple. That goes a long way. And share the love with your friends. Share the love with your friends. All right. Talk to you soon.